What are sisters for if they don't help you out?
We're hitting the best of the best.
Highlighting all things food in New York City.
Today we're gonna sit down with the queen of soul food.
And try the best fried chicken in New York City.
We're at Melba's on 114th.
And Frederick Douglass Boulevard.
Let's go have some fried chicken, Car.
I'm starving.
My name is Melba, and we are in Harlem, the Mecca of Black culture. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Yes.
We are at the original Melba's. So this year, we will celebrate 20 years being here at the same corner, the southwest corner of 114th and Frederick Douglass Boulevard. So 20 years, the original Melba's, yes.
How many Melbas are there now?
Well, I've had a couple of babies,
Yeah.
okay, just a couple. So there's Melba's in Central Park, which has been there 3.5 years, over the iconic Woolman Rink. And then there's Melba's at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. And my newest baby that I've just birthed of all time, Melba's in Grand Central Station. First Black-owned women business in Grand Central Terminal. So super excited to be there, but more so excited to be able to open the doors for so many others to come along. Food is my love language.
Ours too.
Right, it definitely is yours as well. But food is a conduit to bringing people together. And it's a great way to talk about culture, but it's also a way to employ people. And for me, it was using it as an example to show people that come from the Harlems of the world what many considered a ghetto, and I considered the Mecca of Black culture, but to show you that you can come from a neighborhood like Harlem and you can do and be anything that you wanted to do. So walking by the street, right to your right where you're sitting, there was a sign that said for rent, written in black Sharpie, 2 words, for rent, and a phone number. I called the number, spoke to a gentleman by the name of Robert Reach. The company was Limley and Wolf. They owned the building. And I said, hi, I'm interested in the space you have on the corner of 114th Street. And he said, what would you like to do? I said, a restaurant. And he said, have you ever owned a restaurant before? I said, no. I said, but I've worked for some of the most iconic restaurants. Once I told him the history, he says, well, we have a lease out. I said, sir, is it a signed lease? He says, no. Well, I've learned from so many before me, a deal is not a deal until the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed.
Yeah.
And so he said, but I like you. Why don't you come in tomorrow? I said, I'm busy tomorrow. What about today? Went in, signed the lease, and the rest is history. So it was taking the money that I had saved for so many years and investing it in my community, first of all, to create jobs and to create hope. And 20 years later, that's what we've done. And I say we because it's never just me. I need the dishwasher in the kitchen to be able to wash the dishes so that we can have utensils and glasses and pots to cook with. To me, that's one of the most important people in this restaurant. I need the bartender. I need the runners and the bussers. I need the servers. I need my reservation team. I need my catering people. So you will always hear me say we. Opened up 20 years ago. I've never advertised one day in my life. So when you get a Prince Harry and a Meghan Markle who come through, or when you get DJ Khaled or Katy Perry, or last week we had Kevin Hart, Shaquille O'Neal. I'm like, how did you even find out about this? We don't advertise. It is only word of mouth.
Speaking of word of mouth and everyone finding out about what they're coming to get, can we talk about the chicken?
Oh, breaker one, non-breaker one. You mean that chicken that I slayed the one and only Iron Chef Bobby Flay with? It was Throwdown. The year was 2008. It is forever etched in the memory of my mind and my heart. Things like that don't happen to me. Things like that don't happen to brown girls from Harlem. He had never had a throwdown with anybody else in Harlem. This was the first one. And so I had no clue at the time. So they told me that I had to demo Chicken and Waffles. Chicken and Waffles was born in Harlem by a guy by the name of Mr. Wells, who had a supper club. And he had a lot of jazz artists that would come in to Wells Supper Club. They would start around about 8, and they would finish playing about 2-ish. So everybody from Minton's Playhouse to Small's Paradise to the Renaissance Ballroom would come after their set, and a lot of them hadn't had dinner because they start playing about 8, finish about 2, but it was also breakfast time. So Mr. Wells came up with the idea of combining sweet and savory, and voila, chicken and waffles, born in Harlem like me.
And so were you doing the eggnog waffle at that time too?
I was. So the eggnog waffle came about, having only one child. My son would tell me what he wanted every morning. You know, like me when I grew up, I had to eat whatever my parents put in front of me. He was like, "Ma, I want waffles today." He tells me he wants waffles. It's the day after Thanksgiving. I go in the fridge. I had no milk, no heavy cream. The only thing I had was orange juice and homemade eggnog that I had made for Thanksgiving, some leftover. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna throw this into the waffle batter. Made him. He was like, "Ma, these are the best waffles ever." I'm like, ding, 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 ding. They're going on the menu at Melba's.
What's your favorite menu item?
Now, no one's collard greens taste better than my collard greens, okay? My collard greens, you're gonna get a little bit of that vinegar, some red pepper flakes, so a little bit of spiciness in there, a bit of tang in there, and just a tad bit of brown sugar to take away the bitterness on the collard greens. And then ASAP yams. Oh my God.
I'm so excited to try
ASAP
those.
yams.
They're so good.
Insane. So ASAP Yams, as you know, who started the ASAP crew, used to have a birthmark on his face. And everybody used to say it looked like a yam. So they called him ASAP Yams. So that is my way to pay homage to him. I always think it's important to say thank you to the people that started it all. Rihanna, a couple of weeks ago, said we had the best mac and cheese she had ever had. So, you know.
That's pretty cool.
Rihanna.
Yeah. Do you ever get starstruck by people coming in and loving your food and sharing about it?
You know what? I'm starstruck by the locals because those are my kings and queens. You know, it's good to have Prince Harry and Meghan. Of course, it's iconic. But when somebody's grandmother at 100 years old comes in, that makes me feel just as good as Rihanna coming. Because I think about that person at 100 years old, the things that their eyes must have seen, the things that their ears must have heard. And so to be one, to live to be 90, 80, 100, and to feel that this is the best of anything moves my heart and warms my soul.
What's been your favorite part of this whole journey?
My favorite part of this whole journey is me being able to tell people if I can, you can too, and that if I can, so can you. You know, I'm a girl that everybody said couldn't, wouldn't, and shouldn't. I'm Black, yes. I'm female, yes. And I'm from an area that people consider to be the ghetto. So for me, hearing I couldn't, shouldn't, I wouldn't, I felt like, hey, I'm already at the bottom, according to so many people. What do I have to lose? How many people I've cooked for? I cook for everyone like it's my first time.
Yeah.
20 years later. I'm still always nervous about getting it right. I still always have that hunger to want to please. That's important to me.
Butter?
Strawberry butter. Just straight strawberries and melted butter.
Okay, Melba, get yours too.
Okay, this one's mine because it already has it.
Yes.
Ready, girls?
Cheers.
Waffles.
The strawberry butter.
That's unreal.
We're on a new level.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Yep. That's what you want. Okay, cheers. That's what I want mac and cheese to taste like. Gotta get this. Pick it up.
Put some hot sauce on it too. We're gonna put some hot sauce. There we go.
I wanna go right here.
I was waiting for you to
Just
do
gonna go for
that.
it.
Yep. Thank you for welcoming us into your home. It feels like we're home in your kitchen.
Thank you for cooking for us.
It's a pleasure. And we gotta
Thank
get
you.
you in Grand Central.
Yes.
You gotta get you in Grand Central.
Yes. Mwah. Thank you so much. Mwah.
What's comfort without a hug?
I know.
Right?
It's
We're
nothing.
huggers.
And a piece of fried chicken. Enjoy, ladies.
Thank you.
so much.